total drama. The thing I used to grow up watching as a kid, and the main reason why I got into things like Big Brother and the Object Show community. Now, sadly, I can't play most of the clips I wanted to. I was really gonna rate every single episode, but then, oh, you can't do that, that's called piracy. Ugh. Some lawyer person told me. Got me a little annoyed, but you know, we'll do what we can. So today we're going to be ranking every character, and if I have time at the very end, I'll go over each episode one by one and put them from worst to least, or least to worst. Without wasting any time, let's get into the first eliminated contestant. By the way, I think this is obvious, but massive spoiler alert if you haven't seen the season. Caleb was the first person eliminated from Total Drama Island, and I can see why. Bro immediately rizzed up Chris. I mean, look at this guy's face. God damn! I know they wanted to keep the Emma and Chase plot for plot convenience, but like, come on, bro.
Yeah, why not call it the wheel of people who tried the best?
Or who never even got a chance because the others found them physically intimidating?
Caleb wasn't a complete knockoff of Justin. He actually was trying to help his teammates during the challenge. I think he actually had a good probability of, you know, doing something more. I hope in Season 2 we actually get a little more of Caleb and he has a bit of a Justin arc, but way better. Because I think he'd actually do a really good job in this game, and I'm sad to see him go first. I was hoping he was going to get like third out at least. We don't have anyone else to put him, so right now he'll be the first person on our list in top place.
Ripper! Aw, snap! Pack up your survival trinkets, cause guess what? You didn't survive!
Axel is an interesting character, pretty much taking the embodiment of Joe and Sean and mixing them all into one big mess. I didn't really care for her character. That doesn't mean she's bad in any way. I think she had some funny moments throughout the show.
There's a reason you never told us one of your legs was a prosthetic.
Probably the same reason you never told me your legs weren't.
Fair enough.
Her placement feels pretty justified, as she's just again a mix between two other characters beforehand. Overall, I didn't hate her character, but she's gonna go under Caleb for now.
MK. Nichelle, it's time to go.
Nichelle sure was a character. In episode 1, no one was really themselves, and in episode 2, she actually did pretty good. And then episode 3 came around, and you know what happened when a character gets too much screen time, they get eliminated. And honestly, she really deserved it. She had a whole tantrum on the field.
What have I ever accomplished? I mean, besides being rich, famous, and a great actress.
Yeah, that really did not make me like her character any more or less. Honestly, she was an overall alright character, but Axel had some really good back and forth with Ripper, so I'm gonna put her at the bottom of the list.
Scary Girl.
Scary Girl, real name Lauren, was a really interesting character to add into the mix. A person that was crazy like Izzy, but sadistic. So sadistic, in fact, that you've seen multiple times where Chris is like, no. She wasn't obviously gonna make it far, so seeing her get out here, I'm not really too upset. I think she always was an overall good character, though. I see a lot of people dissing on her, and I don't know why. I don't just think she's a one-note character. She saves Damien in Challenge 2 and does really well in it as well. And her little thing with Priya could have easily been developed for at least another episode before her getting kicked off, and I think that could have added a really good dynamic. I think if she got a little more development time, this probably would have actually been a really solid character overall, though I don't think them winning the $1 million is ever gonna happen. Anyway, really solid character going to the top of the list.
Or, dude, just give Damien the dumb marshmallow. We all know I'm the one going, oh.
Damien, you've been voted off.
Wait, what? Where? What?
Damien's definitely the most realistic contestant this season. Like, holy crap, if I went into a season like this and I had no idea what was going on, yeah, this is how I would react. He had the best design out of like every character, I'm gonna be real, and when I first saw him, I'm like, okay, this guy's gonna make it far. But when I learned about his personality during the first episode, I'm like, okay, he's gonna get eliminated pretty early on. I think he did a great job at being funny, and even in the last episode before he got eliminated, again, he got focused on, so he got eliminated. He did a really good job by using his chemistry knowledge, and I hope that in Season 2, when he comes back, that he'll actually be able to make it farther. I even like when he was able to come back and help Priya with the challenge. I think that even allowed us to see more of Damien, which we definitely needed more of. I do believe that he's gonna make it far in Season 2, if they ever do make one. He was a great character overall, definitely better than Lauren by a good shot, and I'm gonna put him on the top of the list for that.
Julia.
Yes!
MK, you've been eliminated.
Ah, that's a shame.
Mary Kate or MK was one of the best contestants in this season so far because her sarcasm was just hilarious. It was timed beautifully.
Look, Nisho, it's my shocked face. Also on TV. Also not real.
Wait, we're on TV. Does that mean we're not real?
Alright, I like messing with people's minds, but come on, some minds just mess with themselves.
And she was the first person to think there's a camera in the confessional booth. Why don't I just use it? I know, crazy idea, right guys? It was a really smart game plan, and I think that made her go real far. I'm damn sad that she got eliminated, especially just before Merge. I think that could have added a lot, honestly. She didn't do overall great in challenges, except in episode 4, but everyone did real good in episode 4. But she was overall a great and strong competitor, and I wish she did make it on Father, but you know, it kinda sucks that she got out this early. So I hope in a later season we get to see more of MK and her talent, and at least if she gets eliminated early on, just more of her personality overall, because I think she's a fantastic character that definitely needs to be explored more and have more time on screen. And with that being said, I'm gonna put her at the top of the list. She's definitely my favorite character so far.
Are you two okay?
Go, coach!
The game.
100% giver. What happened to them?
Oh, I never asked.
Wayne and Raj were great contestants who made me laugh anytime they were on stream and were great competitors as well.
Who'd you vote for?
You, bruh, how about you?
You, dog.
Seriously? You're supposed to vote for who you want to eliminate.
Oh, that's our bad.
Sorry, coach, sorry.
They were stereotypes of Canadian hockey players, and as a Canadian, I'm here to put the rumors to rest. Yeah, this is 100% true. Now let's take a quick step back and look at them separately. Raj is a funny character, like his friend, and started a relationship with Bowie. I knew there would be a gay relationship in the show because they wanted to be diverse, and I like how they didn't force it too hard on the characters. Raj did less compared to his friend, except in episode 4, but everyone did well in episode 4, so... Even then, he was still a great game player who didn't get enough screen time in my opinion. On the other hand, Wayne was much more of a goofball, showing off in episode 2 with a great game plan, and usually being the butt of the joke. He had much more screen time than Raj, so I grew to like his character much more. Overall, a great duo that makes sense to come in as a pair and leave as one. Raj and Rain getting out in episode 11 makes sense, as only one person can win immunity now, and them both competing for it would probably cause a major conflict that would ruin their characters, so most likely, for the best. They were both funny characters, and those coach lines were the best things ever.
Oh, sweet. Thanks, coach.
Sad to see them leave, but probably for the better again. Wayne and Raj will go above Damien, with Wayne being above Raj.
He said, booby traps.
Millie!
Seriously?
Yes! Woohoo! Yeah!
Oh, Ripper. You could have been so good, but they completely fumbled your character because all you were based off of was farts. And only people that laugh at farts are kids under the age of 6. Your entire name was even based off of that. Ripper? Letting one rip? Come on, dude. Besides that, you were hilariously stupid because that's what your character was supposed to be. So unlikable that it's actually hilarious to laugh at your pain. That's what your character is. And that's why you're all so bad, because you're just really cringe. Because that's your personality, is to be cringe and get beat up. Because slapstick is funny when the character you hate gets told off. So in that department they did you well, you know, making you an unlikable character, so when you saw him get hurt, you laughed at him. But you didn't do much in any of the challenges too that made you an outstanding person, except for in episode 4, which I think you actually did decent. But that was all. You only did good in episode 4, nothing else. You know, in episode 8, the eating competition, a challenge that is basically built for you, you failed to Julia, a person who probably doesn't understand what white toast is without avocado on it. Overall, probably the worst character yet, and after episode 4, I just kind of wanted to see you gone, and I didn't want anyone else to get out until you were gone. No one is passing you at the bottom of the list, so get real comfy, buddy, because you're going to be out there for a long time.
You know the deal. If you get a marshmallow, you're safe. If you don't...
You're wrong, Chris. Tonight is different because I came up with a plan that cannot fail.
Z, It's time to go.
Don't cry, Chris.
Wasn't going to.
That's because you're very strong.
Hezekiah or Z is probably my most favorite character in the show. He's funny but has a really chill attitude and is not the smartest tool in the shed, even compared to Ripper. Almost every line Z has said has made me laugh because they wrote his character beautifully, and here's some great examples.
Hey, man, where'd you get the soda from?
I have no idea.
Over here.
A talking bush? That's amazing. That tastes nothing like butter.
His hilariousness with his chill attitude and his stupidity made for one of the most best characters in the show. I even love how they introduce his disability. It isn't like forced whatsoever and even has a funny and chill line from Z himself.
Oh, it was a great leg. Probably my favorite. All right.
Is there a reason you never told us one of your legs was a prosthetic?
Probably the same reason you never told me your legs weren't.
Fair enough.
And I even liked that in Challenge 5 and 6, he actually used it to his advantage, losing weight in the catapult area and having that weird hypnotic trip. Whoa, 4 fingers. Probably one of the only moments I actually remember from Challenge 5 where he just completely slams that thing into a freaking raptor's jaw, which was pretty neato. With everything being said, I think he also has a really unique character design, as I've never seen a body shape like his in the Total Drama series. With everything put together, I'm sorry if you had a better character, but Z is my top #1 pick, and will be at the top of the list for the rest of this episode.
Yep, I didn't win the $1 million, but I wouldn't change a thing. How did I get in here? Wasn't I just on the dock?
Millie!
Woohoo! We did it!
Wait, what? I'm gone?
How are you surprised by this, Pea Puddle?
Chase, it's Dock of Shame time. But hey, I got you a pizza to go.
Chase was, yeah, what is there to say about Chase other than his off and on relationship with Emma? He's such a bland character who had so much more potential and only had a couple funny moments throughout the season. I have nothing to say about this guy. I'll put him above Caleb, and that's literally all.
What? You're booting me over a turtle?
Emma didn't have much to her personality either than just, again, another on and off relationship with Chase. She is so easily manipulated by Julia in one episode, and by Chase. It is embarrassing. She also is a pretty character, barely getting me to laugh, but I did like her in her last episode that she competed in, so a really strong way to go. I'll put her above Chase. I would maybe put her higher, but she's also the reason why we have fart combinations of girls on the freaking Total Drama Island series. Again, an overall pretty nothing character, and we're down to the bottom 5 characters.
Julia!
What? No! You read it wrong. It's a tie. Bowie and I agreed to vote for...
I just want to clear this real quickly, because I know a lot of people stan Julia, and I can see why, fair enough, but if you have a Julia profile picture or really love her and want to defend her at all costs, you may want to skip this part, and I want to specify this is my opinion, because I hate Julia's character. I'm gonna be real, I'm sorry. I want to go over each episode and explain why I don't like her character. Episode 1, she didn't really have much screen time, but I thought, okay, this could be a really interesting character, a high-on-life influencer, but we didn't get to see much of her in episode 1. In episode 2, she didn't really have much screen time, but the lines she did say were okay and kind of humorous and got me to chuckle at once when Nichelle kind of clapped back at her. In episode 3, she sat in a glass container and didn't really do much again, not being able to show her character whatsoever, though it was kind of nice to Damien, so I guess I'll give her that. Still didn't really care for her that much. In episode 4, she pulled a lever, and that's all I can remember her doing. She was the only part I liked about episode 5, so I'll give her that, because she roasting that raptor, and even coming back later in a different episode, was pretty funny. I will say that.
Mouthwash! Ever heard of it? For reals, they should change your name to Halitosaurus. Your breath reeks of caveman girl. And get some whitening strips and aligners for your teeth already. Your grill looks like a fence made of mud. I can't even talk about your dry, scaly skin because I will literally barf in my own mouth. You have bags under your eyes. You have puny little chicken wing arms. And your toenails?
In episode 6, this is where I completely hated her character, even more than Ripper. Because in episode 6, she just became a giant jerk for no reason. Other people like Alejandro and Heather would at least try and be nice still and wouldn't constantly just abuse people for the hell of it. She just did. And she completely messed up the challenge for her team, who could have easily won. I have to say, I'm actually really sad she did not get voted out in episode 6. It would have been a really good time, but, you know, antagonists and whatnot. In episode 7, her plan was so bad that even Ripper saw through it and was trying to vote her off later, but she got saved by what I like to call the Heather effect, where the antagonist gets a really bullcrap immunity to win. I also don't feel like she deserved episode 7. In episode 8, I don't think she deserved the win at all. I do not believe that a girl of her stature would eat a tapeworm, let alone the other things she ate, and also the way she got Z out seemed very forced. I knew he wasn't going to win the challenge because he was doing too good, but like, come on, you could have been at least a little more creative. Milk coming from udders. Oh no. I actually think it should have ended with Ripper kissing her, and then she gets so disgusted that she kissed Ripper that she puked. I think that would have been a way better ending. Episode 9 was pretty meh all around. I did like to see her get slapped around by some fish, but I do not believe she was able to pick up Bowie. But fair enough, everyone has unreal strength. Bowie picked up a freaking tree log. In episode 10, I actually wanted her to win. I think it would have been the best challenge for her to win. Her yoga made sense, and I actually disagree. I think she should have won challenge 10. So I'll give her challenge 10, even though her sarcastic remarks were pretty boring. I think she was also her best in episode 11. I didn't think she was like overly great. Her strategy was really dog crap, and I'm surprised Priya even gave her the time of day for it. But I think she actually makes sense to win challenge 11 as a person who's taken selfies for her entire life, so I didn't hate her in challenge 11 either. And finally, episode 12, they did her so boring. You obviously knew she was going to get out because she's the antagonist and they usually get out around here, but they made it so obvious. Oh guys, look, I collected a bunch of coins. I wonder if they'll find a way to get 1,000 coins even though they were doing awful at the beginning. Also, you had their coin bag and you just didn't steal it? Huh? Huh? Are you an antagonist? Are you trying to help them? In short, in the first couple episodes, I didn't hate her. In episode 6, she was the worst character in the entire world. And then after that, she just played meh. As an antagonist, though, I think this character would have been much better as a non-antagonist. None of her plans ever worked. The MK one worked because of a poop joke, and then she tried to get Emma out, but why not get Bowie out, your biggest competitor? Like, I really feel like she would have been much better as a non-antagonist character. I hope in the future they make her character a little more realistic. I do not believe that some of the challenges that she did win when she did win. And also, I really hope that if she keeps being an antagonist, that they improve on her strategy a little bit, or something. She just doesn't feel like an antagonist, or an antagonist that deserves to make it far. She actually makes me like Mal a little better, and everyone knows Mal's a really crappy antagonist as well. Though I wouldn't say she's an antagonist from like Pogtail Island vibes, though. Oh, no. She is far from Pogtail Island vibes. I'll put her above Nicole because I feel like she still has some decent moments where she did kind of get a chuckle out of me. Episode 5 and episode 10, she did really good, and episode 11 seemed a little natural. But other than that, yeah, I didn't really like your character.
Millie, you are eliminated. Please join the other failures on the failure benches.
Millie was such a character that was like Chase. I have nothing to say about her. She was such a generic and boring character. She had a really interesting thing, and then they completely threw out the door. It was like, friendship is magical. And I was like, that's pretty crazy, bro. I want a really good character, not friendship is magical. Anyway, I don't really care about her character. She left Challenge 8, she basically made Priya lose Challenge 10, and she doesn't do much that didn't feel completely unbelievable in other challenges where she actually did do good. I'll still put her above Chase because she at least did more than Chase.
And the winner of this season of Total Drama Island and the $1 million prize is...
Bowie placed second and sadly wasn't a runner-up because they no longer do that. In episode 1, I liked how they keep the glasses for them until they break, and then they no longer show that. Just a small detail I saw when I was looking over everything. Anyway, Bowie was a fantastic character, really good design. They weren't forceful with, oh hey guys, he was gay, except for in episode 1, but we'll get a little more into that later. For what he failed to do in challenges, he made up with strategies, convincing Emma to make an alliance, get back together with Chase for a bit just to make a bigger team, and technically getting Z on their team, voting Caleb out episode 1 by convincing everyone to do that, getting MK's vote, and breaking up Millie and Priya's friendship to get to the bottom 2. He had really great strategy throughout the whole thing, and he wasn't awful in challenges. He felt like a really realistic character who had a lot of funny moments to him. Like what I was doing when I was talking about Raj, I don't think their relationship was forced at all. I felt it developed pretty naturally, and I also like how he was like, hey, we're still in a challenge, let's continue this afterwards. I thought that was a really good step in the right direction for this character. They were still wanting to compete for the money, but they were still liking the other character. And I really loved that part about Bowie. Overall, fun character, had no problems with them except for in episode 1 where they were a little dull, and every time they were on screen, I always like to see what little scheme they were going to come up with, or what little one-liner they're going to say that kind of make me get a little bit of a chuckle. I also really love Julia and Bowie playing off each other. I think they both have a really funny chemistry. Overall, grand character. I can't put him above my boy Z though, so he's gonna go under Z. But I have to say, I do wish there was a runner-up moment just so I could see Bowie have a runner-up. Priya was such a meh character. You think for a person who would win Total Drama, they would actually have, some fans. I haven't seen a single scene or clip packet of Priya because no one cares about Priya. She's such the Sky of Pocketail Island, but in Total Drama Island in 2023. Because she's just such a bad character. You advertised her to be this strong competitor who's been training her whole life, and yet she doesn't win like any challenges. The one challenge she does win though is the finale, of course, because she's a Sky. You're not supposed to hate her, you're not supposed to like her, you're just supposed to accept that the villain didn't win and that she did. Honestly, her character was just so many times I want to be like, are you sure this character trained their whole life? Are you sure? If they didn't advertise Priya as that, then honestly, they probably would have been higher up on the list. But they're just such a nothing character. I hate to say it. And because of that, they're going under Millie. Millie! The character who also had nothing about them. Overall, a character that underperformed based on what we were given, and also was beaten out by their disciple multiple times, and I think doesn't deserve the win. I would have been happier if Millie won, honestly. In last place is Ripper. Who saw that coming? A person whose entire personality is based off of farting. Haha, so great. 15th, Nichelle, a character who had only a couple funny lines and that was pretty much it. Had a whole tantrum in episode 3 and then got booted off. Julia in 14th place because she was an antagonist that failed at being a proper antagonist. 13th, Axel. They were funny in some manners but didn't get enough screen time, so it was really hard to judge their character. When they were on screen though, they felt really over-dramatized with the whole Joe factor. Caleb in 12th place, with little to no time on screen. Every moment he was on screen was really great, but he had no time on screen, so it's hard to say what he would have been. Chase was a really nothing character. There was nothing to say about him because he did nothing. In 10th place comes Priya, a person who was completely just uninteresting to listen to because they were advertised to be this big baddie and then turned out to be nothing. 9th place Millie, because she did more than Priya, that's really it. 8th place Emma, popped off in the last 2 episodes she was in. She was overall a meh character as well with Chase. Lauren was a really funny character that I wish they did more with, and because she didn't get much development, it's hard to tell if she would have been a really bad character later on. Damien was a really smart and realistic character that I could really put myself in their shoes. Their character design was mwah, delicious. They did pull a Dave though, and I really wish their smarts got used more. Raj comes into 5th place because he got way less screen time than Wayne, and I think if he got more, he would have definitely excelled more. Wayne comes in 4th because he had a lot more screen time than Raj and was hilarious throughout the whole show. His Canadian accent throughout the whole thing was very good there, eh? Mary Kate comes in 3rd because of her use of technology is definitely different. Her character design is really well done. I love her personality and the sarcasm is hilarious. What Bowie didn't have in strength, he made it with skill, which made him a great antagonist and really fun to watch his plans unfold in front of my eyes. And last but not least, my boy Hezekiah. Hezekiah was a really fun character to watch develop. His disability didn't feel forced, and he actually used it to his advantage, which I thought was really cool. He was hilarious throughout the entire show. There wasn't a moment where I was just like, oh my god, that joke did not land. I also love when he broke the 4th wall and pointed out things that people were always like, How did that happen? Overall, fantastic character, and I really love the design of his physique. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. I know it was a little more different than what I usually do with the FNF rankings, but I really wanted to do this because I'm really passionate for the Total Drama franchise. I'm really into these types of competition shows. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to see me rank someone other than FNF, please comment it down in the comment section below and I may check it out. Have a great day.